Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that's going to help you become your best self. And today we are talking about freedom is in moving forward and stop holding yourself back. But before we jump into that, I do want to encourage you to come say hi to me on Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. I would love to hear from you. Get any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just say hey, hi, and hello to me. I love saying hey, hi, and hello to me, or when you do it to me. I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy getting to know you guys. And yeah, I'd love to chat. If you would prefer to send me an email, you can do so to realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. I do check that account as well. And I would, again, love to hear from you, conversate with you, help you, encourage you, take any of your suggestions, and just become friends online. So I look forward to hearing from you. But again, today we are talking about freedom is in moving forward. Stop holding yourself back. So I've been dealing with a lot of very uncomfortable, emphasis on the very uncomfortable procrastination lately. It's uncomfortable because I know, like deep in my hardest of hearts, I know it needs to be done. I really want to do it. I do. It's things like working on my business course that I paid for, working on more content, diving into deeper topics for the podcast, things like that. And I really want to do those things, but I don't. I don't, right? And I want to tell you that because, I'm here all to be very vulnerable and transparent with you. I want to do those things more and better, but I don't. And I know to some, it doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, well, you want to do that or you need to do it, right? But you don't. What's wrong with you? I've asked myself the same question. Actually, my therapist, which I spoke with yesterday, was under the impression that I just don't want to do those things. He was like, well, maybe you just don't want to do those things. Maybe like really deep in your mind, you resent those things, or they're just disinterested to you or boring or whatever. And you feel like you're making yourself do those things. When it's not true at all. Really, I've thought about that, but no, because I made a lot of decisions to do those things, and I can honestly tell myself I haven't gotten bored of them, and they don't not interest me anymore. And, and this is also where it comes in clutch for you to be super honest with yourself and having the ability to be super honest and open with yourself. Because if you're continually lying to yourself about what you want and what you want to do, you will not accomplish many things. You will not get very far in life. I'm telling you. You'll think you will because you're living this pretend life of you feeling fulfilled with the things that you think you want to do, and then one day it'll all burn to the ground. I'm telling you, it will all burn to the ground because you'll realize so late that you don't want to do any of that crap, that you feel like you've wasted your time away, and that you would really rather do something else, and you have to make this crazy deep decision of okay, do I just leave all this behind? Which I encourage you to do that if that has happened to you, or you will just continue on in this path where you don't want to be there, but you're like, I've come too far to give up now, despite being super unhappy. So anyway, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that I'm not interested in it anymore. It was because I don't want to let people down. And I just found that realization recently. And I've been, and it was amazing. It was amazing that it just finally it came to my brain, the reason. And before I get into the what that means, letting people down, because you're that doesn't make sense, maybe, I want to note how important it is to take the time to figure out what is stopping you, right? More on that later. We will talk about that in the quick list of tips I want to give to you on how to move forward, but it's so integral and important. And I hope that you'll stick around to the end to hear more about that. But for me, I had spent a lot of time trying to figure out why I was being this way. I really did. Because I feel like it's been this way for 2 months, right? And it's not that I'm not doing anything, obviously, because if you have been here to listen to the show, you know that I am still doing episodes for the podcast. Love it. It's one of my favorite things. But there are episodes that I've wanted to do that I haven't done yet because I know it will take a lot of focus and research and concentration to come up with a really good episode that actually help you guys. But I've been kind of just like, I have a list of those episodes where I'm like, I will get to it. And I haven't yet, and sometimes some of those episodes are suggestions from people that do, message me and talk to me online. And I feel bad because I haven't done it yet, but it's like, it's like it's like waiting on a list somewhere. So if you're one of those people who's like, why hasn't she gotten to my suggestion yet? It's coming. But yeah, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out like what the heck was going on, why I was feeling crippled in fear and stagnation on the couch downstairs, watching Gilmore Girls, just like feel like I'm living my best life. I wasn't, and not upstairs in my office working on my freaking dreams, guys, on my dreams. And it finally came to me that I don't want to have to let the people down. So this would be like the people in my life. I didn't want my sudden schedule of busyness to affect my family and friends, which is ironic because I used to be that person. Like I did when my daughter was younger, probably like 8 years ago, I'd say 7 years ago. That was definitely like me. I was busy, running around all the time, doing all the things, all of the time. And but I think back then it's like I didn't think my business really affected anyone because I made sure that every single person was included, and it kind of run me ragged, which is why I no longer live my lifestyle like that. But yeah, I don't want my sudden like change and shift in schedule and what I feel like I need to do and work on to affect other people. And really, surprise, surprise for me, it all boiled down to people pleasing. And we all know I struggle with people pleasing, perfectionism. It sucks. I feel like I've gotten better from the perfectionism side. People pleasing is still an issue. It sucks, but we know progress every single day, and that's what we focus on, right? So with the changes I wanted to make in my life, which again would be just like really focusing on my business course because I want to use that as like my jumping off point to start coaching, right? And coaching other people in their mental and emotional health, becoming their best self every single day, and even more on that. And then I discovered actually recently, I'll tell you, because I haven't really told anyone, that actually I take that back. I did tell a random girl at a concert the other day because we were just trying to get to know each other, just random conversation. But I did realize that in doing my business course homework, I realized that something that hadn't been awoken in me since like college is I really want to do this coaching for businesses. I want to be like asked to come and speak at a business and really help employees and managers, how to manage their emotional health that, relates to work, like stress management and goal setting and things like that. As well. And that was a really big part of my heart when I was in college because I decided to, focus on child psychology. But then in my heart, I really wanted to, do that kind of work in like a business setting. And it's funny how that was like, it really lingered, but then I chose the other one. And it's funny how it's like coming back around like so many years later, like almost 18 years later. It's crazy. So anyway, yeah, so I with these changes that I wanted to make in my life, which is that and the podcast and so many other things that I want to work and grow in and work on, I finally realized it was going to affect others because I wouldn't be there to swoop in and save the day, right? And I feel like that is like the kind of persona that I've had for so long, the cape that I threw on, the person that I wanted to be, because it made people love me and respect me and accept me, to be honest with you, right? And these are not good reasons, but these are the reasons that I had. And, I wouldn't just be free to do whatever needed to be done because I am doing the things that I need to do, even if it's as something as simple as I need to sit here and read a book for an hour because this book will help me understand how to start my coaching business, how to be a better coach, how to, coach on this specific topic that I may not have already understood very well or haven't already learned in the past, right? So, it made me realize how much I just make myself available for everyone, right? And I don't like nail myself down to things that I have to do or I will allow myself to be interrupted. And it's not good. It led me to realize this is the reason I don't go after my goals and dreams, because I'm so worried about being there to help others with their goals and dreams. I was not prioritizing myself. And I feel like a really big part of going after things and moving forward in our lives is you have to prioritize yourself, right? There's always that example of you have to make sure that your glass is full before you decide to drain it for everyone else, right? Or even the simple example of when you are in a plane and you need to put your mask on, like your oxygen mask, you have to put yours on first before you can help anyone else. You have to take care of yourself first and make sure that's in line before you can assist anyone else. And I wasn't doing that for the longest time. And I thought that I'd kind of grown out of that. Like I told you, I used to live this super busy life, and now it's more like calm, tame, like low key. But I didn't realize that I hadn't given up that part of like literally allowing myself to just be continuously available for people all the time and not prioritizing myself. And again, you can't move forward in life if you don't take the time to take action. You just can't. Like, how are you getting anywhere if you're not doing something to push, propel, move you forward? I don't know how. It's not happening. You can hope and desire for things to change and achieve goals and grow, but without action, none of that will happen. I promise you. It's just not. Because I don't understand how you would believe that by not doing anything would help you get to where you want to be. You know what I mean? And sometimes the things that we're doing don't necessarily help us get to where we need to go. So we need to change and reframe. Fine. But you still got to put that action in. So, you can't move forward in life if you are always on the back burner. You can't keep yourself on the back burner. That's a lesson that I learned recently. And that's why I want to share it with you, because it's so important. And I don't want you to suffer as long as I have, hopefully. And you can't move forward in life if you do something, if you don't do something to overcome your struggles. You have to do something, anything, to overcome your struggles, right? And it might not be perfectly overcome and just like, back in the distance as you're moving forward, but you're working through it. And you can't move forward in life if you don't realize you are holding yourself back, which again, if you don't realize that, you will be holding yourself back for so long, similar to the story I told you about me, where you finally wake up and you're like, oh, crap, what have I been doing? But don't let that hold you back either. That realization of like, crap, I've been doing this for so long. Is it even worth it to try to change things up now? Yes, it is. It is. I'm telling you, 110% it is. Change now, shift now, do it now. It's not too late. I don't care how old you are, what you're doing, or what you're involved in. It's not too late. So you can't move forward if you're allowing all these things to hold you back, which is essentially you holding yourself back. So here are some tips on how to move forward in life. I have 7 quick ones that I think that will really help you. So the first one is understand why you're stuck. So this kind of like harkens back to the top of the episode where I was talking about how I finally figured out the reason why I was just so paralyzed and like just fear and stagnation and just not doing anything. I understood that it's because of the people pleasing. I wanted to still be able to do that. And you can't really do that if you are filling your schedule with things that are actually going to help you achieve your goals and dreams, right? But so to understand why you're stuck, you have to ask yourself the question, what's getting in the way? And again, you have to be honest with yourself. If you are not honest with yourself and you literally tell yourself, nothing, everything's fine, and it's cool and nothing is, it's just everyone else, right? When you're just like casting responsibility on everyone else, you're projecting. You're not actually trying to fix the issue. You're trying to just send out blame and then hope everyone else changes so you don't have to, and then things move right along. That's not the optimal way to live your life because it will backfire on you at some point. I promise you. Unfortunately, you can't just get through life that easily. You can't, because the hard things are the things that make us grow and change and become our best selves. But again, ask yourself, what's getting in the way? And for me, I asked myself, okay, what's getting in the way? And it was the way that I was acting and putting myself on the back burner. And I don't know how it kind of like formulated in my mind. A lot of times I'm deeply thinking about a lot of things at once, and I will really try to shake myself up with distractions to allow my mind to problem solve on its own in the subconscious, and then it will just like come to me, right? But I think it also was like pinpointed to a day where my husband just like barged in the middle of me like recording a video, and I hadn't closed the door because I thought he was in the middle of doing something else, and it kind of annoyed me, and I was just like, and he wasn't really there for any particular reason. He was just there to like say hi or figure out what I'm doing. And then I realized in that moment, I was like, oh, I cannot allow myself to be available every single moment of the day, especially when I'm trying to do things that are like making content that will help me, teach people about emotional health online, which will lead to hopefully like um, people understanding that I could be there, a good coach, and like start this business and this, that, and the other. And so, I really asked myself, what's getting in the way? It's like allowing myself to always be available especially when I'm in the middle of something, which is not fair to me. And the money that I've invested into these things I'm trying to learn and the desires that I have in my heart that I've put on the back burner for so long. So understand why you're stuck. Ask yourself what's getting in the way. Be honest with yourself. And then figure out how to move through that struggle. The second tip is to stop allowing others to influence your actions. So this really comes down to the negative influences in your life, the people that are super pessimistic, that don't really believe in you, or they have like backbiting comments, and they act like they support you, but they really don't. And so when you have these people in your life and they're telling you, yeah, you can't do this, or, that's going to be really hard, I'm not sure you're capable of that, or people that understand that you need to have this time to study this or work on this or figure this out, and they always are trying to pull you away from those activities and just like kind of like interrupt you and get in your way. You can't allow these negative influences to influence your actions, influence what you're going to do, right? And sometimes there's people in our life that will be those negative influencers, even though they're like the best people in the world. They don't realize how they're kind of getting in the way, right? So it'd be like my husband just like popping into my office all the time while I'm in the middle of writing or while I'm in the middle of recording a video like I was the other day, or reading or whatever. And that also leads to you needing to set those boundaries of being like, hey, I need like an hour to work on this, or 2 hours, or hey, during this time and this time, I'm going to be busy, or close your door and put a Post-it note on it, which is exactly what I did today. I closed my door, I put a Post-it note on that said recording. And recording, and my family understands what that means, because even if I had closed the door and like I'm recording, they're not going to like stop and like try to listen and see like, oh, is she recording? And they won't know. They could think that I'm on the phone with a friend, which is, kind of how I model this show anyway. And so I literally had to like have that, okay, I'm going to put a sign on my door so they know. So they're going to come to the door and then like turn away, because I'm not going to let any sort of like any other people's actions influence what I'm going to do, because what I need to do is really super important to me to move forward in my life. Okay, so the third tip is seeking validation from others will foster more self-doubt. This is something that I struggle with a lot, and actually it even came up today, because today in my regular day job, which is at the business that my husband and his business partner started, I was excited to give a stress management presentation, and it was like 15 or 20 minutes, and it was great. But afterwards, I was asking my husband, I was like, do you think it was good? Do you think it was great? Like, what do you think about it? Like, I need your feedback. And which I feel like would be normal questions, but it really was me seeking external validation of being like, was it good? Should I keep doing blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean? And my husband was very quick to like cut that off and be like, you know what? It's not really me that you need to ask. It's the employees. Did they enjoy it? Did they like it? Did they get something out of it? And how do you feel about it? Like you're in charge of this thing. And do you feel like it went well? Do you feel like you're getting the feedback that is necessary for you to continue in the way you're doing it, and kind of just like really setting me like, you don't need my validation here. And it was good, and it was nice, and it was helpful. And so I just hope that really encourages that if you allow someone else's external validation of like them being like, well, you could have done this, that, and the other, or no, I didn't like it. But just because one person doesn't like it, that was kind of the road my husband's going down. Like, he's like, it was good, but I'm not important. I'm not the person here to please. I'm not the person here that needs to have this training that you were giving, right? And so, someone might give you a negative feedback on what you're doing, but there might be like 99 other people that are like, no, this is amazing and awesome. And so you can't just let the people that are, you know, giving you the negative things, the things that make you feel down, and allowing what they're saying to affect what you are going to do and affect how you are going to live your life. So seeking external validation will foster more self-doubt because you will be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this because these people didn't like it. No, if like the majority of people it works for and it's fine and it's going well, then, maybe some tweaks need to happen, but maybe not. Maybe it's just not their cup of tea, right? So just consider that. So the fourth tip is to believe that mistakes and failures are the best learning opportunities. I talk about this all the time. If you're not new here, I'm always talking about how mistakes and failures, they're so good. They're hard to go through. Like in the moment, in the time, you're like, oh, this really sucks. But if we're able to change our mindset to know like, okay, this really hard situation's coming up, or man, I really didn't, I didn't really meet my expectations here, or I kind of failed, or mistakes were made, or this, that, and the other. We're able to shift our mindset to recognize that that's what's happening and recognize, okay, this doesn't mean I have to give up. This doesn't mean that it's not going to work out the next time. And this doesn't mean that because I failed or made a mistake, that it's a direct reflection on me as a bad person. Because it's not. Because these are the things that are going to help you become a better person, a stronger person, learn how to do it better the next time. Because we can't go into every situation expecting to just know how to do it from the get-go. That doesn't happen very often. And yes, we can get all of the information, research, prep from other people in our life and have tried to learn every single thing about this and still make a mistake. And we get so down on ourselves when really nothing can go perfectly, and not everyone does everything perfect the first time. That's rare. Even like the best of the best in the world, they still make mistakes, they still fail at things. People still don't recognize their talent and greatness until a lot later, a lot of times. So please know that not everything is going to be easy and that mistakes and failures are the best learning opportunities. And if you shift your mindset more and more each day to understanding that, it'll be easier to get through those even hard times with mistakes and failures. Okay, number 5 is don't allow your past to define you. So recently, episode 348 of the show, so not that many back, I talked a whole episode about not allowing your past to define you. And it's important that I note this here because, not that you can listen to it or not, but that you can't allow your past to define you because that will continue to feed into you holding yourself back, you not moving forward because you believe that everything that's happened in the past to you or that you've done in the past, negative or positive or whatever, has to dictate what your future is going to look like. And that is absolutely not true at all. You have to understand that we are going to grow and change and evolve as time goes on. And just because something bad happened yesterday doesn't mean it's going to happen today or next week or that same day a month from now. And just because you failed multiple times at this thing doesn't mean that you're going to fail multiple times at this next thing, right? You know what I mean? It's just important for you to know. A lot of our pasts are crazy or overwhelming or not what we expected it to be, but that does not have to hinder the future because the future is so bright and capable and amazing. And you are an overcomer no matter what you've been through, what you're dealing with now, and how your progress has gone. You just have to believe in yourself and understand you can just leave those things in the past, learn the lessons you need from those things, and move forward, having gone through those struggles and those like teaching you lessons maybe earlier than you anticipated. You know what I mean? Okay, so number 6, don't give up so soon into the process. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, right? Because when you're going through and you're going through something new and you don't quite know how long to hang on until you decide to stop hanging on. And it's important for me to remind you to not give up so soon, but also if you feel like something isn't working out, make changes. Don't just give up, right? You're going down a certain road, certain journey, doing a thing. You're like, this is not working out at all. And that's fine. It's okay. It's okay that things don't work out. It's okay that things aren't what you thought they were going to be. Expectations weren't necessarily met if they were like, managed expectations. But don't give up. Try to change the path that you're going. Try to change the way you're doing things. Get advice and help from someone to help redirect you in a different way if you feel like this is honestly just not what should be happening. But don't just give up and walk away and decide this is just not going to work out at all, because you could really be missing out. We're going that direction for a reason. And, we're going to take a lot of twists and turns in life and open different doors and close different windows and run around everywhere doing all the things. And it's not going to just be a straight path the whole way. So don't give up. Just make changes along the way. Okay, number 7, my last tip for how to move forward in life is to take small steps until you gain momentum. So just like not giving up, just like, getting through those mistakes and failures, all of these things, take small steps to move forward. If you feel like taking really big steps is super scary, overwhelming, not able to do that right now, right? So for me, before I decided to sign up for the business course that I'm doing, I decided to sign up for a couple like little mini things that were free. And I took those small steps to kind of like figure out, okay, am I interested in this? Okay, can I learn this? Does this make sense? And then I decided to take a bigger step by signing up for this course, investing money and time, right? And so you got to like take the small steps and then take big steps. And then I want you to know that just because you've graduated from small steps to maybe medium steps to maybe big steps, it doesn't mean that you can't shift back to medium steps and small steps and then kind of like jump around. Just because you were able to take a big step doesn't mean that every single step after that has to be big, because we're going through different seasons of life, and what was, feels a lot, you feel a lot more confident about right now doesn't mean that the next, phase of life or phase of this goal or a dream that you are working to achieve means that it'll be the same or similar or easy or hard or whatever. So it's okay to take small steps. It's okay to take medium steps. It's okay to go back to small steps. It's okay to like take big steps and then come back again. The point is that you are taking a step at all and you're not holding yourself back. You're not staying stagnant. You're not just like sitting here waiting on everyone else to change things so that it'll just naturally move you forward. No, you are doing the work. You are taking the actions. You are going to gain momentum, even if it feels that that momentum like changes, speeds up, slows down, kind of stays the same. But at least you are still moving forward. So that's all I have, all the tips I have on how to move forward in life, how to stop holding yourself back, and how to make moves, take action, and just do the darn thing, right? So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast, again with me, Sabrina. Again, check the show notes below. It'll show you where to find me on Instagram, which again is at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, or to send me an email, realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. Also, I just thank you again for listening, downloading, sharing the show, being here, loving the show, and I appreciate every single one of you. It's so amazing. So hit me up with any questions, comments, concerns, pro requests, feedback, topics, suggestions, or just want to say hi and chit chat. But until next time, have a good one, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.